Well, welcome everyone. I do wish we were in the heat of Arizona right now, but here we are on Zoom. I do my coffee group on Zoom. I do every group you could imagine on Zoom, and it's getting a little old. But that's okay. I can show you all kinds of tricks for those babies of yours. So as Pat was saying, I do have a school for children who struggle in the regular classroom. We have language delays, sensory disorder, little autism spectrum, a little ADD. So we deal with everyone, and we answer lots of questions for lots of moms. So here's what you have. You've been given this little ball of, we kind of call it Play-Doh. You have to form this baby and get him through school for the next 12 years and make it exciting for him. So while you know this has been a devastating diagnosis, they don't have a clue that it's been that. So you separate him out. Oh, let me help Johnny. And we're not paying attention to the other kids in the family. We're making special arrangements for him. He needs to be equal. He can do all of this. And some of the things that I'm going to address, you won't ever need to even think about because it won't hit at your house. But some things you will. So start paying attention to the little things. It's the early intervention that's going to make it different and make it successful for him. Keeping everything normal. You're going to deal with some educational issues. And some of the top 25, it's Denise's top 25 list that you're going to deal with some of these things that are hard to do. And I'm going to show you a few of those and help you learn to say no. And I'm going to show you some items that are so-called must-haves at our school. Now, the problem is every child out there is different. And every child needs different ways, just like Rachel just mentioned about the doctor. Every different doctor can help a different person in a different idea. The other big problem is this all takes time, and we as parents don't have time. We rush. Pack your lunch. They can't do it, so you just pack it. And if we start slow and early and we give ourselves 20 minutes to pack, then they can do some of the spreading and they can help make that sandwich. But we're always in a rush. So try to allow a little bit of time to see if this will help. First rule, one of my top 25 is you have to become a team player. With school and home, we want to make it one, right? Everything you do has to be one. If that child knows that he can go to school and get away with murder, he's going to school and he's leaving you high and dry. If he knows that he can get sent home from school and he's going to get to play video games all day, let me tell you, he's going to get home. Our office manager, lovely Erica, she had a child, and she's always welcome for me to share anything about their crazy life. She'd show up in her tennis skirt. Yep, he's having a bad day. I'll take him home. And within 5 minutes, he was riding his bike and playing, and he didn't want to stay at school. So he was a pistol. We have to make sure both of you are thinking the same way, and he cannot get sent home, and he can't want to go to school more than being at home, okay? So 24/7, we're going to make his world the same as much as possible. Now, the Parent Project Muscular Dystrophy website is golden. They have written everything that you can possibly need to say to your gym teacher, every teacher in the classrooms. It's there. So go dig, print out, and cut and paste. Cut and paste and rewrite parts so that that teacher is getting the exact letter that you need for your child. It gives you guidelines of what to say to the parents or to the other parents, to the other children. It is a gold mine. So take a look and start studying that for when you do need those little bits of input. All right, my top 25. No, you must say no. And we don't like to say no because they're our precious babies, right? And no, poor thing. No, poor thing. I'm going to be blunt here. No, poor thing. Say no immediately. When he's 2, learn that word. And they cry and they melt down and they think the world is ending. It's not. So always say no. Manners. I will mention that we have a little guy who stuffs his entire lunch sandwich at our little summer camp, stuffs the whole sandwich in his mouth. And he's so full of it. And one of the little girls says, I can't watch him. And they don't want to be around him. You need to make sure that your child's not gross. Don't let him be gross at school. Don't let him stuff his whole sandwich in. Work on those manners, and it starts at day one. When he starts eating and shoving it in, remove it. He won't starve. Take it away from him, slow down, and teach him early on. But again, we have this panic button. Oh, my baby, he's got to eat. That's made up. So, yes, he has to eat, but we have to get him to eat properly and slowly. Diet. Diet is going to be the third big thing. Of course, cookies are what I go for first, and that's really what I would love my dinner to be, is a straight plate of cookies. And problem is, not good for us. But, oh, this poor little guy. Ditch that idea again. When you have a plate of food, he wants mac and cheese. He has to eat on a plate 1, 2, 3. He has to eat one little bite of the broccoli, minuscule bite. And he has to eat one bite of the spaghetti or whatever it is that you're serving. And then he can have that. Tomorrow night, it's 2 little bites. So I'm only a phone call away, and I can help you lots with how we get that diet in their bodies where you can't give in. He will go to bed. He will be starved, and he will cry, I'm starving. It's okay. He will eat, but don't leave cold food on the plate and say you have to eat this before you get something else. Warm it once or twice, and then go back to a cold plate. Learn to lose. We have to learn at home. We go to school and we don't lose. Summer camp for us this summer, what's going on at our little school, we don't like to lose. And when we don't like to lose, we cause a scene, and the kids, again, will make fun of them. So lose at home. Play some games. Mom and dad can win. It's okay. And brothers and sisters can too. My brother used to hold his breath and turn blue and would freak out all the babysitters, and so they let him win every time. Don't let him do it. Executive decision making. They have to have executive decision making to be successful in school. Don't tell him this is what you're going to wear. Hold up 2 outfits. Which outfit would you like to wear? And that helps us right in the beginning. We don't always like to get ourselves dressed, so we act like we can't do some things. Learn what they can't do and what they don't want to do, and force it. Read. 20 to 30 minutes every single day. And I know you can be like my husband, who I would go up and he was supposedly reading with the children, and that's all I heard. Mike, are you reading with the kids? Yes, she's reading to me. No, you're sleeping. So don't let that happen. Make sure every day they are getting 20 minutes of you reading. And here's our problem, which I'm going to say in my next little blurb. Auditory processing is our issue. So if you're reading a story, then you have to follow up with questions, because you can read till you're blue in the face, and if they don't answer the questions, we're not getting through. So when you read The 3 Little Pigs, then turn around and say, what did that first pig do? And ask at least 3 comprehension questions for every story. And if you're going to be really that dedicated reader, mom or dad, make sure you're answering 3 questions per page. You won't like me after that. Once we get into kindergarten, make sure you're reading a sentence, then they're reading a sentence, then you're reading a sentence, to make it a little bit more jazzy and fun. If you're already in 4th or 5th grade, make sure they're reading to you. And again, you're asking the comprehension questions. We all forget about those because that's the hard part. Homework rules. Kindergartners are a riot. They're cute as bugs, and we want to sit and do their homework. Not allowed to do homework with them. You can be cooking. You can be making yourself busy. You can be sitting in front of your computer. We're going to set some timers. And again, I'm going to show you a little bit more. We'll set some timers before you can say, Mom, how do you spell cat? Nope. You can wait till your timer goes off and then ask me 4 or 5 questions at once. Those of you who are struggling with homework, I'm a phone call away, and I'm going to meet with you individually, because I'm adamant about getting homework started in the right way. You're not doing it for them. You're not writing it, and you're not making their little vest for the holiday or whatever it is. Don't do it. It's easy to think you're going to. You're going to chunk homework, chunk it. Everything you do, eating, we're going to talk a little bit more about your schedule stick. Everything you do is going to be in little tiny pieces of time, 10 minutes at a time, so that we don't get, oh, I can't do that. That's not allowed in our house. So everything is chunked, including homework. Don't put it all out there at once. We freak out. Oh my gosh, I can't do all this. Divide it into little parts of 5 and 10 minutes, set the timer, and when that's finished, you can get up, do something such as go potty, get a drink, get a snack, maybe 2 M&Ms. It's what I would have worked for. So, homework rules, we got to pound starting when they're 4 years old. 4, 5, 6, get them on an organized plan. We organize before bed and everything's sitting at the door ready to go for the next morning so that mom doesn't have to turn blue in the face when she can't find the folder and she has to sign everything. So everything has to be done at night before we get our story time or our playtime with dad or whatever it is. We're packed and ready to go. It'll calm everybody. One of my next 25, top 25s is family night. Every week have a family night. You won't regret it. Play games, have popcorn, whatever it is, if you could find time to do just 1 hour. But you didn't follow the week rules, you have to sit out and watch family time while we're having fun. I know you're saying, oh, she's a witch. I am. But be a witch a couple times and then all of a sudden they'll get it. They don't want to sit in that chair and just watch. Make it big. Add Hershey Kisses to the popcorn. And they missed that. Sorry about you, but you didn't follow the rules for the whole week. Okay, schedules. That's my last of the top 25. Our children that might be a little bit on the spectrum, might have some processing, might have some sensory, they need a schedule. Unlike me, who can fly by the seat of her pants anytime, I can just make it happen. Our kids can't do that. So the better the schedule, the better your life will be. So there's my 25, a few of my top 25. That's going to make for a strong home life, which will make for success in school. Now, let me just mention those problems that you might be encountering. Auditory processing. They hear it and they're fine, but it goes in our head, goes into our brain, jumbles, and they can't get it out. So that's called auditory processing. Visual processing, they can read it, but again, they get in there and they can't visually process what they're reading, and maybe it comes out as a dyslexia, anything going on, which is no longer a world, but it's our world. They're struggling with the reading. Some of our kids are going to have sensory issues. We don't like our tag. We don't like the way these boots feel. We don't like our clothes. We don't like our undershirt. So we have to worry about the sensory and what we don't like to touch. And we don't like our hands washed that way. We don't like to be squeezed, or maybe we do need to be squeezed. We have children on the autism spectrum, which are going to bring up all kinds of these things. They're all going to fall under that. But with the spectrum, we wind up and we have to let loose, and we have to find our time that we can learn. And there's plenty of it, and they're bright little boogers. We have meltdowns. All of these kids are going to find ways to have meltdowns, and you're going to stop that early on by not giving into it. You're walking through a store, they wanted the PlayDoh, you didn't buy it, they melt down, they throw themselves on the floor. Find somebody to kind of keep an eye on and say, goodbye, Johnny, I'm leaving now because we don't do this. Walk all the way out the store. Of course, some of them will look and think they need to call the police on you, but that's okay. But you have to nip that fast, and we have to work on that. They are only getting your attention, and they're trying to just raise your blood pressure. Difficulty with transition, which truly is one of the reasons we have meltdowns, is we are playing with the train, we're not ready to move on, and we cannot transition. But again, we don't prepare them. So these come in all sizes, and I'm going to go over this in a minute. Michael, we're leaving the park in 5 minutes. There is no discussion. if we don't leave the park in 5 minutes, blank, 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 blank. So you've given him warning. He knows. But what we do as parents usually, hey, come on, it's time to go. I'm not leaving right now. You have to prepare him, and you have to give him an idea of what's happening, okay? Now, items you must have. A schedule stick if we're having meltdowns and we don't like to transition and we don't know what's coming next. One of our little girls, a mom didn't tell us that she was very into her schedule and melted down the first 3 days of camp. So I called Mom, hey, tell me a little bit about her and tell me what I can do. Well, she has to have the schedule. Give her a copy of, well, hello. So speak up. When you learn something that you know works, tell the school. Don't let him have a meltdown at school when you knew this worked. Look what this is. It's a Home Depot paint stick. They charge you for them now. But if you ask, they'll give you one. Take a paint stick, let them paint it. And these are Velcro, little pieces of Velcro. And these are all the activities that we have to do today. We have to see Miss Sarah, our speech pathologist. Then maybe if you're in school, you have circle time. And then you go to art. Then you have snack. Well, we really like snack. Well, look what they get to do. They get to pull it off as they go so that they know how long it is before they get home to see Mom. So these sticks they can carry with them, and they feel like they have a little bit of control of their day. You can make one for school. You can make one for home. You can make one just for the evening. Whenever your meltdown period is, that's what you need to make this for. Sometimes you put them in 2 different colors. Red are the things we have to do, and green are the things we get to do. Like if we do our stretching, Miss Claudia, and if we wear our boots and anything we do, then we get the green. We get to play 5 minutes of our whatever it is. So make a stick. It's fun to do. Let's see, a timer. Back to this one. Timetimer.com. All right. Go to timetimer.com and you might want to order 50 of these because you want one in your purse. You can buy them very small. You want one to sit up on the counter and they all sit nice, easily. But dinner time, moms and dads, dinner time minimum is 15 minutes. They must sit for 15 minutes. No, they don't get up. And that way, when it's circle time at school, they're used to sitting for 15 minutes. So start fresh, start right. What happens with these is they just slowly go backwards. And then all of a sudden you're sitting at dinner and it continues to go. And then it doesn't go ding, because when it dings, what do? Yoo-hoo, let's go. No ding. It just quietly stops. So then maybe they've forgotten that it's time they can get up. So this goes to the park with you. When you're leaving the park, this goes wherever so that you can give them a warning time, okay? So purchase. And I think PPMD might have a few of those. I know we were going to have them at the conference. A rule wall. One thing you must do if we're having meltdowns at transitions or we don't want to leave the playground, a rule wall. Or we hit our brother. You write the rule, and it is on the wall somewhere. And it's a big poster, however big it needs to be. We write the rules, and then there is punishment for those rules. Punishment. Hear that word? Bumpy cushion. It is, I thought I had one, but now all the kids are using them at camp, so I could not take one. A bumpy cushion is just a rubber, little air-filled pocket with bumps on it. And because I get antsy, I can sit on it, and then it helps me sit at dinner time, and I might be able to wiggle, but I still have to sit. But it keeps my ADD in control. A weighted blanket is a pillowcase for us. All you have to do is sew a few diagonal little lines on there and fill it with a little bit of rice and sew it up at the end, or beans. And when our children are having a few little meltdowns, it's a wonderful thing to just rest on our lap, make it the weight that your physical therapist will have you do. They'll know the weight for our Duchenne kids. Get some motivator charts. Make some money that says mom bucks. And when we do something positive, we get that. So those are some of the things that you might want to be making right away. Now, all of this can't be done at once. When the teacher comes to you and says, we got a few behaviors, I think we're falling a little bit behind, this is where we go to those doctors. We need that neuropsych to get tested. We want to figure out, it helps you with your insurance, so it will cover a little bit more, helps with some therapies, and gives them direction of what we're dealing with. If we don't know it's auditory processing and ADHD look alike. So unless you know what you're talking about, you might think you're just ADHD and you need a bumpy cushion. Well, really, you're not auditorily processing, so why pay attention anyway? So get tested by that neuropsych. As for a developmental pediatrician, I would say most of our children at our school go to a developmental peds instead of a regular peds, just because they can help us with those milestones of where they are. But what's the most important is a regular peds, a developmental peds, that neuropsych. It's who your heart goes to. Who do you feel the best other than your PPMD team? Who do you feel the best that will help you through your everyday illnesses with your children? But those neuropsychs are going to be the ones that test and label our kids and figure out what the best plan for educational issues are. All right, I don't volunteer anymore. I'm an old mom. My kids are growing. I have lots of time. I would love to meet individually with any of you. We can Zoom, and you can be in your pajamas. So I would love to help you any day, anytime. I'm free in the evenings. Otherwise, I'd be watching Blue Bloods. And I'm free in the mornings, and otherwise I'd be eating donuts. So I think during the real conference, I will have scheduled times if you want to sign up for one of those. And that's it. Have a great time. Thank you.